Mutilation, FGM, is a harmful practice that affects women and girls. Let's talk FGM every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Together, we must fight against FGM and end this harmful practice in Nigeria. Let's talk FGM, Wednesdays, 2 p.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Let's talk FGM is supported by HACEY Health Initiative.
My mama tell me say she won't carry me go buy biscuits. Now say she carry me go our old mama house. The way she mama cut me, child, I still dey imagine the pain. I still dey weak me for body. My mama say na to make sure say I no dey follow boys anyhow. I wonder how we take enter waka with boys matter. I wonder. Circumcision don cost me plenty health palava, and I no go even wish my enemy pikin to suffer wetin I don suffer. Child,
my country people, circumcision no good at all. You no fit forget you dey follow man dem. You no fit help woman find pikin born. In short, inside the over 20 million Nigerian girls and women wey don suffer circumcision, many of them dey also suffer health palava plus including pain when dem wan menstruate, born, or even when time reach to enjoy themselves with their man for other room, whether na local place or for inside hospital. Circumcision dey very bad and dangerous. E no get anything good wey e dey do for body. Make we join hands stop circumcision today. Na dis health initiative through a stop cut project wey dey funded by United Nations Trust Fund and Violence Against Women bring una dis message.
Tell them all the music they play is dance on this. It's the bomb, baby. The best, baby. We're bringing it to you live.
Bringing it to you live. Women Radio 91.7.
Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Talk FGM on Women Radio 91.7. My name is Sumte Titilayo Ajama and you're welcome to Let's Talk FGM today. Let's Talk FGM is a program that talks about everything pertaining to female genital mutilation. Let's Talk FGM is an initiative of HACEY Health Initiative in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women. Today on Let's Talk FGM, we'll be discussing ending female genital mutilation. Ending female genital mutilation, an approach towards achieving gender equality. Ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. Now, female genital mutilation, aka FGM, is that practice that involves altering or injuring parts or the whole of the female genitalia for non-medical reasons, and it is internationally recognized as a human rights violation. Globally, it is estimated that some 200 million girls and women alive have undergone some form of female genital mutilation. You will agree with me that that is a really large number of people. An estimated 68 million girls are at risk of being mutilated by 2030. So protecting them will take a significant push, and we need to abandon this harmful practice. Talking to us today is my guest, Toyin Adelowoko, State Reproductive Health Coordinator and Gender Desk Officer for the Ministry of Health. Thank you very much, Toyin. Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Talk FGM.
Good afternoon, moderator. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Please, did I get your name correctly?
No.
Okay, could you pronounce it so I can understand it better?
I'm Mrs. Toyin Adelowoko.
Adelowoko, okay. Thank you very much.
Reproductive Health Coordinator and Gender Desk Officer, Ministry of Health. Thank you.
The number to call is 070-917-917 if you want to send in a text or a WhatsApp message. I'll take that again. You want to call, if you want to join the conversation and call, you can do that by dialing the number 070-917-917. You can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703-175-6537. Alright, so we're talking about ending female genital mutilation, an approach towards achieving gender equality. This is basically in line with talking about female genital mutilation. But let me now ask you this. A school of thought believes that female genital mutilation is done on girls as a way of controlling their sexuality and their bodies. Do you think this is true?
No.
Okay. Please explain.
I got it right. Yes, I will say yes, because our people believe that if a woman or a girl is caught, that will control the sexual, it will reduce the sexual urge, which is not true. Which is not true. When we are talking of not the only cutting of the private part of the private part, that is this female sensitive organ. We have other places in the body that are sensitive as well, but they believe that if they cut all the part of the female external genitalia, that will reduce the sexual urge. It's not.
Okay, so you're saying that this is not true at
It's
all?
not true. We have other places that are sensitive also.
Okay, so
You know that some ladies, if you touch their head, they're already dead. Already. At times, some people, if you put your hand beside by side, they will be shaking, and you know they will have the urge of having sexual intercourse. So cutting the external part doesn't mean that it will reduce the sexual urge for a girl or a woman.
okay, thank you very much for that. So again, some people think this is a rite of passage for some girls into womanhood.
Yes, if I should tell you this reason why our people are doing this circumcision, some says it as a rite of passage from childhood to adulthood in some community. That's their belief. And then some believe that it's to prevent a girl child from being promiscuous, which is not as well. And some believe to keep fragility. Those are the reasons that why they are cutting our girls, which are not true. So, and we have other reasons. And the time they cut is even deeper. Some even believe that we also have the myth and misconception about this female genital mutilation. They believe that if the clitoris is not removed during childbirth, if the head of the baby should touch the clitoris, the baby will die. That one also is not true with evidence. So we have a lot of reasons why our people are doing it. Concerning being promiscuous now, there was a time we carried out research in Botel. You know, the Botel with these commercial sex workers. Out of 10 of them, 7 out of 10 were caught, and they are still promiscuous. So you cannot reason with me that cutting our girls doesn't have anything to do with promiscuity. What we need is to train our children, especially our girls, in the way of the Lord, and we provide for their needs as well. You know, some people have the reason why they are running after men. We have the reason why we do that. So we need to provide for our girls as well. As a mother, as a father, we need to provide for our home and take good care of our girls.
Thank you. So in line with that, I'm just going to ask you this. If women have to be prepared for adulthood, and a form of this preparation is female genital mutilation, does this not prove gender inequality, because men don't have to go through any kind of cutting?
That's why we are here. When we are talking of gender inequality, it's discrimination against our girls and women. FGM is a manifestation of gender inequality, deeply entrenched in a social and political and economic structure which we need to address in our society. So it is.
So still in line with that, I must say that to a large extent, FGM, a lot of people are aware that it's not right, but still they do it.
They are aware that it's not right, but there are people, they are only trying to abide with the culture or in their community. Like you said, as a passage from childhood to adult, there's a way of doing, there's anything that they can do. Besides cutting our girls, if they want to do a kind of passage from childhood to adulthood, there's another thing that they can do besides cutting them. You know, when we are talking of this issue of FGM, culture is part of the reason, the cultural beliefs, and even the religion. Some people say that their religion permits. I can say boldly, there's no religion that permits FGM. Go to the Bible. If you go to the Genesis chapter 17 verse 10 to 12, you will see it there. There's nowhere in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation that was written that we should cause our girl child. It's only the covenant of our father, I mean the God, with the Abraham, was that at the 8th day, cause your male child. Is male, not female. So there is nowhere in the Bible that it was written that we should. Likewise the Quran. It was not in the Quran, because you know this campaigning against FGM, we have been doing that for almost 8 years now, and we have engaged a lot of people, including the traditional rulers, the religious leader, and none of them support cutting of our girls. So, and a lot of community have come out openly to declare embarrassment towards the elimination of FGM.
Thank you very much. The number to call is 07000 917 917, 07000 917 917. You can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537, 0703 175 6537. Now, we're going back to this subject of conversation because we're talking about ending FGM and approach to achieving gender equality. So that's the focus of conversation today. And then you said something earlier that people do this because they want to keep the girls as virgins, or they want to they want to end promiscuity. Exactly, that's what they think. So is this even right? Is that mindset, is it right? Because that never happens.
You know, let me tell you one thing. Removal from the female external genitalia, you are destroying the place. You are reducing the function of that particular structure. Unlike the male circumcision, yes. The male cassapa, if you remove the something from the male, you are not cutting the male gland. Are you cutting the male gland? You are not cutting. But in the case of the female, they are cutting, they are destroying the place. You know, they are destroying the structure. They are reducing the structure for performing their normal functions. But it's not like that concerning the male circumcision. And if you don't do the male circumcision, it doesn't have any effect. But this female circumcision is having a lot of consequences on our girls and women. That's why we are campaigning against it. When we are talking about the consequence. We have a lot of consequences. We have sexual dysfunctioning consequences. We have obstetrical consequences, and we have immediate consequences, and we also have psychological consequences of the female genital mutilation. That's why we need to, we have had a lot of conversation with the FGM survivors. We also have the group of FGM survivors. They have group where they discuss and they support each other psychologically, because a lot of them are passing through a lot of psychological influence. So we have a group of FGM survivors. They discuss, they support each other, and they even join us in campaigning against it by sharing their personal experience. That's this thing. As I'm talking, I was caught, and I know what I'm passing through. My daughter will be 22 come December, and due to what I passed through during my childbearing period, I did not call my daughter, because I don't want her to face such problem later in life. I can't blame my parents. Maybe they didn't know better. They don't know. They follow the culture. And we have a lot of culture that we have abandoned. When we are talking of culture, different community, they have their own culture. How many culture are they practicing now? So the culture that is having a negative effect in us, what do we need to do? We need to abandon them. And this FGM is part of the culture. And when we are talking of gender equality, it's not only a fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Just to help this gender equality, I'm not talking of equity now, equality. So we need to, why are we so harsh? Why are the society so harsh in treating our girls and women? Most all this of issue affects our girls and women alone, and it's affecting us health-wise. So anything that is affecting our women health-wise, we need to stop it. That's why we have done a lot. From like I said, when we started the campaign, the prevalent rate was 76.6, NDHS 2013, but now NDHS 2018, it has dropped to 45.9%. We are moving. By the 2030, we will reach 0%, because a lot of activities is being carried out in our community. So we are seeing carrying out activities, and by God, by our side, we will succeed.
Thank you so much for that. So you mentioned something about a violation of human rights. When you talked about female genital mutilation, you said it's a violation of human rights, and this has actually been said before in the course of this program by other guests about the fact that female genital mutilation is a violation of human rights, so it should not be done on anyone, let alone the girl child. Now, does this, because this doesn't happen to the boys, because they don't mutilate the boys in a way that it damages them going forward, does this not defeat the purpose of gender equality? I mean, does this not promote gender inequality? Let me put it that way. Because if you're saying, okay, this is a violation of human rights, and you're doing it to only one gender, you're not doing it to the other gender in a way that damages them, are you not promoting gender inequality?
You mean among the boys and men?
Yes.
No. I said it earlier.
No, I mean from the people who are circumcising girls. From the people who are circumcising girls and not circumcising boys in a way that damages them. Isn't that a way of further promoting inequality, gender inequality, instead of tilting towards where you're advocating for gender equality?
I can't guess your question right.
Okay, what I'm saying is, if you're not circumcising boys in a way that damages them, but you're circumcising girls in a way that it damages them physically, psychologically, even health-wise as well.
That one is promoting gender inequality because it's damaging girls and women external genitalia, and it reduces the function of this, the structure there, the function that they're supposed to perform has been reduced by cutting them.
So you were talking earlier about some of the activities that have been going on, a lot of activities, a lot of advocacy that has been going on concerning female genital mutilation. Do you think at this moment now, because you even mentioned the difference between the prevalence before according to the report and now, there's obviously a really great difference. Do you think that there's more awareness that needs to be done, particularly in ending FGM to achieve gender equality?
Yes, we still need a lot of awareness creation among our people. I can say a lot of people are now aware of the danger of female genital mutilation. They are now aware. Even the circumcisers, they have dropped their knives. They are no more circumcising the female child now. So, but we still need to continue with the awareness creation. You know, as Yoruba adage says, bang bang bang, na love at duty. So you need to continue repeatedly, continue saying something repeatedly. That's the main thing to stick. So you understand, that's how I can put what I said in Yoruba.
You know, you're very right. You're very right, which is why I'm agreeing with you on this one, that there must be more advocacy, there must be more awareness. And throughout the different states in Nigeria, not even in one sector or in one region, it needs to go around.
Exactly, throughout the Nigeria.
Exactly.
You know, the Nigeria prevalence rate is high too. So that means we need to go to other states across Nigeria, not just 5 states that the program is being implemented right now.
Yes, which is why we're doing this program, so that you're listening right now, you can partner, you can continue advocacy on your own, particularly because you know that female genital mutilation is not right.
It's not.
This is Let's Talk FGM on Women Radio 91.7.
Mama Dora, big Dora, come on. Papa Dada, don't come circumcise us.
You want destroy your pikin life, Papa Dora. You know say person wey pay somebody to do circumcision, and person wey do circumcision, all of them go prison wey fit reach like 4 years, and dem fit say you go pay 200,000. If you give person contrary advice say make dem do circumcision, you go fit go prison for like 2 years and still pay like 100,000 fine money. In short, tell my family that call this law enforcement agency go arrest you. Wetin dey do no good.
You circumcise Dora again, Papa Dada, carry your yamayama knife comot my house, or me sef go report you.
Circumcision no good at all o, as e dey cause plenty health palava for girls body. My people, if you hear or see person wey wan circumcise any girl, sharparly go to law enforcement person near you, or make you call 0812 467 0069. Female circumcision no good, make we join hands stop am.
HACEY initiative pushing stop-cut projects wey dey funded by United Nations Trust Fund to end violence against women. Bring una this message.
Women Radio 91.7.
26 minutes past 2 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is still Let's Talk FGM on Women Radio 91.7. Today on Let's Talk FGM, we're talking about ending FGM, ending female genital mutilation, an approach towards achieving gender equality. Ending female genital mutilation, an approach towards achieving gender equality. My guest today is Toyin Let me find that. My guest today is Toyin Adelawako, State Reproductive Health Coordinator and Gender Desk Officer, Ministry of Health. So if you want to call in to ask questions, you can send a text or a WhatsApp message. You can also do that. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send text messages or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Now we've been having a number of Let's Talk FGM episodes before today. So if you still have any questions, or if Toyin has said anything that you think that you want to ask questions or you want to contribute, then please by all means go ahead and call the number 07000 917 917, and you can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. This is Let's Talk FGM. It's an initiative of HACEY Health Initiative in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women. Alright, I'm coming back to you now, Toyin, and we're still discussing ending FGM and approach to achieving gender equality. So, some young ladies and women carry a lot of trauma from female genital mutilation that has directly or indirectly caused a difference in the way they think, and this difference is not positive. I'm talking of negative impact of this trauma. Will you say there are any measures that have been put by the government in order to provide therapy or psychosocial support for some of these ladies so as to make them achieve everything that they want to achieve and not be limited?
I said it earlier that we have FGM survival group, and that group, we support them psychologically. In that group, they discuss, we discuss together, we rub minds together, and we support them. We have empowered a lot of girls in my state on this elimination of FGM. Back to the gender inequality. Elimination of FGM contribute to achievement of gender equality. When we're talking of gender equality, is when people of all genders have equal rights, responsibility, and opportunity, which FGM, causing our guests, promotes gender inequality, because some do it that they want to prevent our girls and women from enjoying sex. That enjoyment of sexual intercourse is for men alone. Is it supposed to be? It's not supposed to be like. That's why the gender inequality comes in. Once we are able to eliminate the issue of FGM, we will eliminate gender inequality in our society. So we have survival group. We have empowered a lot of men, a lot of girls, and likewise we also have one of the strategies is male involvement. We involve our boys and men. We discuss with them. You know this mentality in our society, and a woman now married to a man. You know, I can't say that. They believe that I don't have authority on my children, talk less of girl, that you should not do this, you should not do that. No. So we now brought in the male for them to see the reason why this thing was stopped. And majority of them, or majority of the boys and men, they are now our community champion. They are now championing campaign against female genital mutilation. They are now in full support. So that's how far we have gone on this issue of elimination of female genital mutilation. You know, I said earlier on this gender inequality, as a girl or a woman, if you are not well in power, you will not know. Well, you will not know from your rights, difference between the right and left. So it's what you know that you believe whether it's good or not. So a lot of capacity building, sensitization has been carried out among our girls and women. So they are now fully aware of their rights. They are now fully aware of the elimination where we need to stop cutting our girls. Let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
There was a time we had a dialogue. After the discussion, one journalist that was invited, a male journalist that was invited, now said, I will now join the campaign against this thing. I don't know before that. This thing is wrong, is strong, is bad like this. I don't know. Oh, he even said that I won't marry a girl that has been caught. The boy told me that I won't marry the girl. I will ask so before I marry that have you been caught? He have been caught. No way, because I can't continue living with the consequence of the female genital mutilation if I marry. So we can see now the level of the awareness among our girls, boys, women, and men.
That's very true. That's very true. And this survivors group you're talking about, was it set up by the government, or do they have any affiliation with the government? Because I was specifically talking about support for FGM survivors by the government.
Yes, you know there's no partner that will come to the states to implement program without collaborating with the state government. So we are working together. So I'm fully aware with the full backing of the state governments.
Okay. So aside these groups, what would you recommend that the government...
We also have FGM school club in some schools. We have FGM school club in some schools. I have a lot of success story. Let me tell you something again. That was the time we went for school sensitization. A flyer was distributed to the pupils. One of the pupils, the girl got home. The mother just gave their pass to the baby girl. He now heard that the mother and the father, they were discussing that they are taking the baby for circumcision. The girl just brought out the flyer, approached the parents. Some people came to our school sometimes ago. We were sensitized about the danger of the female genital mutilation, and I just heard that you want to cut my sibling. Please don't do it. She was shouted down. The lady now brought out there. You know we have free toll line. They now call the toll line. So the person that picked the call was able to explain better to them, and that's what saved the girl from being caught.
I'm really glad that she was not caught at the end of the day.
It will be really sad. By now the baby will be 5, going to 5 years.
That is such a beautiful story.
We have a lot of babies, girls that were saved from being caught in my state.
I like the sound of that.
I can't be everywhere. But due to awareness, this thing, as we used to say, be your neighbor keeper. So that's just it.
Alright, thank you so much. And then the health aspects of it. Are there any I'm trying to put this in the right way now. Are there any healthcare measures that can be put in place for survivors of female genital mutilation?
Yeah.
Because there are lots of diseases that they can have as a result of this, which if it's not taken care of, it can affect them.
Exactly. Health workers have been trained on prevention, treatment, management of FGM survivor. So they are trained, they know what to do. If they get to the hospital, something happened again. One of the complications of female genital mutilation, we have keloid formation, we have clitoral cells. We have seen a case of clitoral cells which was handled in one of our health facilities. So they have to do a kind of operation for the woman. The woman wants to give birth to a baby. It's then that it was discovered that she is having a clitoral cyst. So they have to do something about it. So our health workers, both doctors, both nurses, have been trained, both from the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary health facilities have been trained on the prevention management of female genital FGM survivors. And in all our health facilities, during health talk, either you come for antenatal, infant welfare clinic, OPD, family planning, will be sensitized on female genital mutilation in all our health facility. It has been part of their health work, health talk now.
That sounds very good. 21 minutes to 3 on Women Radio 91.7. This is still Let's Talk FGM, and we're still discussing ending FGM and approach to achieving gender equality. And today I'm not doing this alone, obviously. I have a female guest today, and she's really doing justice to the subject of achieving gender equality, or an approach to achieving gender equality through the ending of female genital mutilation. My guest is Toyin Adelawoko, State Reproductive Health Coordinator and Gender Desk Officer for the Ministry of Health. So if you have any questions, 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 917. You can also send in text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Alright, I'm coming back to you now, because there's so many situations people find themselves in that maybe they didn't see it coming. They didn't know that things like this could happen to them, and a lot of those situations can have something to do with female genital mutilation, particularly when it was done when the child was very young, without any choice in the matter, or even when they were older and they have come into a certain age, so they didn't think that, this will be happening anymore, and out of the blue, maybe when you're 12 or 13, and then somebody says, we need to do this, and puts you down, and then before you know it, this kind of thing happens. How would you recommend that survivors like this try to inspire other people to be able to cope with what has happened to them? Now, I'm saying this because, like the group that you talked about, there are obviously survivors there that are coping and they're thriving. So they've gone through that whole process of, we don't know what to do, confusion, but they've come into that understanding of, okay, this has happened to us. We are joining you to talk to people about it. But how can they encourage other people who are not comfortable yet, who are still struggling with the impact of the trauma from female genital mutilation?
They give them psychological support, and you do tell them that if you get married and you are pregnant, when you go for antenatal, let them know in the hospital that you have been caught. So the health workers there, they will know how to support. It's not a special patient. Say you understand. So they will know how to support that person.
Okay.
So that's part of the things we have been telling them.
Okay. So I'm asking specifically about the mental angle of things, the psychological impact that they're going through.
That's what I said. We will give them the psychological support. We give them psychological support. We make them to say the reality. It has been done and it is irreversible. There's nothing you can do about it again. You continue to live with it. You know, when you are talking of the consequences of FGM, you have a lot of consequences. If you are talking of consequences, if you mention about 20, you may be suffering from just 1, 2 or 3 out of the 20.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that FGM is good. So let them know, if you experience this is what to do. Like I was in one community about a week ago. These FGM survivors, they came to me. They shared their sexual experience with me. And I told them what to do. If they want to have sexual intercourse with their spouse, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I can't be mentioning that on here. Do this, that will help you to enjoy. You know, they do have they feel the pains during intercourse. They feel pains during intercourse, which is not supposed to be. Sex is supposed to be enjoyable. So I tell them, then I told them, do this, this is what you're supposed to do. Anytime you want to have sex with you, it's part of the psychological support, and we advise them to know how to. There's nothing they can do. They continue to live with it.
Thank you so much. 07000-917-917 is the number to call. 07000-917-917. You can also ask questions by sending a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703-175-6537. 0703-175-6537. Now, all right, let's talk a bit about how men can contribute to this. You talked about carrying men along and educating men as well. So aside from the education, how can men be included in the fight against female genital mutilation, particularly because we're talking about achieving gender equality, and women cannot fight the cause of gender equality alone.
Especially FGM.
Exactly.
Involving, I said it earlier, involving men in this campaign will help us. I said it as a woman. Especially some culture, they believe that you don't have say on your children. Even if assuming now you gave birth to a baby girl and your mother-in-law is with you, we have seen such cases where a mother-in-law took the baby. The mother went out. Before she came back, the mother-in-law, she has taken the baby for cutting. What will you do? But in that case, you can't confront your mother-in-law. But involving men, is men as a man, you can tell your mom, don't cut my child. And the mother-in-law will listen. But as a wife, you can't do that. That's why we are involving our men in this campaign, and it has been helpful.
Alright. Can you share some of these situations with me, some of your experiences that you've seen in some different communities about how men played a role in fighting against female genital mutilation?
Now, let me share one experience. I said earlier, majority of our community's champion are men. In one community, a circumciser was arrested. That came to that community to court, both male and female. That local circumciser was arrested. It was the men that arrested him. If they are not being supportive, we then do that. They won't. They will just say, maybe it's a woman palava. Let him do his work and leave the community. The man was arrested and the man was charged. You know what? The man was not charged with culture. Okay. In that community, you know, I said that some community has declared abandonment. After that, they have their own bylaw in those community. They have their local law that if anybody is caught now, you will do this, you will do that. They just collected the penalty for that man, and the man was released. It was during one of our review meeting with the community champion in that local government and the community that they share that experience, what happened in their community with us. So our community champion, they are doing lots of sensitization in the community. They will go to the local circumcisers, they will go to the church, they will go to the market, they will go to the mosque, they will go to imam, they will go to the pastors to let them know why they need to stop cutting our girls. So involving them and be assisting us in this cause.
And definitely. Alright, let me just ask you this finally, and we can wrap up with this. Just hit the nail on the head with this one. How can we now achieve gender equality by ending female genital mutilation? How is gender equality and female genital mutilation linked in a way that we can achieve gender equality when we successfully end female genital mutilation?
I said it earlier. FGM is a manifestation of gender inequality, deeply entrenched in social, political, and economic structure. Ending FGM will help in achieving ending gender inequality.
So is this the best way?
Yeah, if we end FGM, we end gender inequality. When we are talking of gender inequality,
Yes.
it's not FGM alone. What of violence? Gender-based violence. Assaults on our women. What of rape? What of rape? We don't rape. Are we raping men?
Not at all.
Are we? We are not. Is wife beating husband?
Well, there are some cases of those, but of course those are not the larger. Those are not the larger amounts yet. Even with the rape cases, there are women that rape men, but you have to
Out of 1,000.
the statistics are higher with women, with men raping women and men beating women than the other way around.
And discrimination. I said we are now educating our men. I mean our women and girls to know their right. You know, when we are talking of discrimination against the female gender, even from home, even among the parents, the way we share food among the parents in the family, you may be the eldest, but if you are a girl, when we are talking of carrying out the housework, they will call the little boy, go and pick your book and be ready, where the eldest sister will be doing the house chores.
And that's a discrimination.
It's discrimination. So all genders are equal. When we are talking politically, let me tell you one thing. In some culture, as a woman, if you are sick, you can't go to the hospital without the consent of your husband. Even if you are bleeding to death. If you are husband, let me share one experience. See, for not making our women to have same on our, let me share another experience which I experienced on this immunization method. We were in one community for immunization. When we got there, the woman refused that we should not immunize for this polio eradication. Okay. That we should not immunize the baby until we get approval from the husband. You know what? We need to call the husband. And the husband gave his consent before the husband even said that the people, the health worker, they need to take the vaccine before the vaccine is given to the baby, which I did. And the wife now call the husband back. They have tasted something else, and it's not supposed to be like that. How can I have my own child, my own child? We are not saying that our husband are not the head. They are the head. They are the head of the house. We give them respect. There is some decision taking. I'm a woman now. I'm bleeding. I should wait for my husband before I seek medical attention. Is it not wrong?
Absolutely, that's very wrong. But is it not wrong? We're going to wrap up in a bit. So, well, thank you.
Because I'm a female gender.
Exactly. So, what are your final words? What are your final words as a wrap up?
My final word is, we should stop discrimination against our female gender. And what they are supposed to have, we should give them the equal opportunity, both economically, politically. We should give them equal opportunity. You cannot, you agree with me that some people believe that there are some position that as a woman you should not be there. There are some profession as a woman, but we thank God concerning the profession, it's now changing. Things like it's changing, but politically we need change. We need. And hopefully economically we need.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on the program. Thank you for sharing your insights with us, and thank you too for tuning in to Let's Talk FGM on Women Radio 91.7. Let us join hands together to stop female genital mutilation today. If you want to report cases of female genital mutilation, you can do that by calling the number 0812 467 0069. 0812 467 0069. Get more information on stopcut.hacey.org. Stopcut.hacey.org. Let's Talk FGM is an initiative of HACEY Health Initiative in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women. Thank you very much to my guests. Thank you very much to you for tuning in. And next week, 2 p.m. on Wednesday is another time on Let's Talk FGM. My name is Sunto Titilayo Ajama. Good afternoon.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM 917.